Those are cousins, you know, those are cousins. Japanese are cousins. They buying the country up. My cousin, he's awesome. Cousin is awesome. And they just buying it up right and left. So you better start learning maybe Japanese. Japanese. How many of you can speak Japanese? I can speak a little Japanese. Want to hear me say something? How many want to hear me speak a little Japanese right quick? Okay, all right. Toyota, Nissan, Sony, Mitsubishi. See, you know more Japanese than you thought you did. They're easing it in on you. Kawasaki's, they're easing it right in on you. If you don't learn Japanese, you better start learning Spanish then. Start saying buenos dias, I'm trying to tell you. Because they keep moving in, consolidating. And you keep moving north, whether you like it or not. So they speak exclusive Spanish in Little Havana, Hialeah, and a lot of other places. If you don't speak Spanish, they won't hire you. Well, learn the Spanish then. But if you own your own, you wouldn't have to go through that. Why don't you own Miami? You've been here 435 years. Why don't you own it? Cuba just came 30 years ago, they own it. Japanese were bombed out of existence 40 years ago. They came back from the atomic bomb. Become a world power. Even have to lend America money. What have you come back from? In the ghetto and love it. A few of you that make a lot of money, you want out. Move as soon as you can. Pay big money too, long money to live out there. It's all real. Why don't you send your children to Russia to learn? Why don't you send your children to Japan to school? They're number one. America's number 19 in science. George Bush came on television last week and said he wants America to try to come up back to be number one in the year 2000. See, if the president of the country is talking about America, children coming back up by the year 2000, don't you understand that means you behind? And that there are a lot of other countries now in front of you in science and math and whatever it takes to be a power in the world. Your education is gone. So why don't you send your children to Japan? They're number one. Is it because you don't want a foreigner teaching your children? How many you don't want a foreigner teaching your child? Let me see the hands of you. That you don't want your child going to Japan because you don't want a foreigner teaching them. Let me see it. You don't want. Scared to raise your hand, huh? You know I have one for you, don't you? If you holler you don't want the Japanese to teach, don't you love everybody? Say you do. You say you love everybody. Well, why don't you love the Japanese? Why don't you love the Chinese? Since you love everybody. Why don't you love the Cubans in town? Why you don't love them? You love everybody. But you don't want foreigners teaching your kids, right? Well, who do you think been teaching them? You haven't. When you teach in the public school system today, that's not your curriculum. You didn't write it. You didn't write the textbook. You can't write your children into power. You don't have the keys. You don't have the knowledge of how to write your children into rulership. You can't teach it at home, and you can't teach it in school. You lost something with integration, talking about the school situation, didn't you? Can you imagine a white teacher standing up saying to her integrated class, all of you little black kids out there in this classroom, you're going to have to be 10 times better than me and all of these other white kids out here. What would happen to her? fired. So no one's going to tell your kid that. So you're letting your children get a big dose of white supremacy and no balance. No balance. And you wonder why you're in poverty. I hope the picture is getting a little clear to you. We must teach our own children, like other nations teach their own children. And until you are willing to pay the price, make the sacrifice to teach your own children, then you're doomed. Your children are doomed to hell. Your children are doomed to inferiority, and they're never going to be worth 2 cents in world competition. It's impossible. Because here is your child sitting up in the classroom learning about Little Red Riding Hood, Hansel and Gretel, the 3 bears. And what's worst of all, Cinderella. You all know the story of Cinderella. That's a little blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl living in the ghetto. Cinderella is about a little blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl living in the ghetto. Cinderella teaches the little white girl how to get out of the ghetto. What does she have to do? She's living there, got a mean old mama, grandmama, somebody, stepmama, a house full of rats, roaches, right? Pumpkins. She wants to be rich. So she had a fairy godmother, came into her life, worked some magic for her, turned her rats into horses, her pumpkin into a carriage, turned her shoes into fine glass slippers, turned her rags into fine garments, told her, now you go to the palace, meet Prince Charming. All you have to do, baby, is fake it till you make it. Look good, honey. Trick the prince. That's what the fairy godmother taught her. Now I have news for you. Here you are sitting in this classroom, learning all about Cinderella, and I have news for you. Your rats will never turn to a horse. Your pumpkin will never turn to a carriage. And if you get some clothes, first of all, you don't have a fairy godmother to turn something for you. And if you get to the palace, you surely won't get Prince Charming. You might get pregnant, but you won't get Prince Charming. But see, the white girl can be however poor she wants. She can dress up, do all these fine things, and go get Prince Charming, and the fairy godmother taught her how to do it. Now, you know the secret of the fairy godmother, right? Fairy. You know? She teach him how to get her, you know? Teach her how to get him. Teach the guy to get the man, right? Now, you know your fairies can't do that. They may have AIDS, but they can't do that. They can't AIDS, you can. So what are you going to do with fairy godmothers, and what are you going to do with Cinderella? Nothing. You come out frustrated. Is that right? It's a fantasy world. All you do, you are groomed through all those fantasy stories for supporting a rat. They call it Disney World, but, you know, it's the big rat. You give all your money to go to the fantasy world because that's all you studied all your life. You own no stock in Disney World. The chief executive officer of Disney World only makes $40 million a year. That's his salary before he gets his friends' benefits. You would have never dreamed of opening any kind of world, Disney or otherwise. This is real, what I'm teaching you. Can anybody recognize I'm talking about keys tonight? I mean, can you see it? I'm giving up a lot of keys. I'm not going to give them all to you tonight, but I'm giving up some keys. Yahweh University is a perfect learning environment. Our children are respectful to their teachers, to their parents, to all adults, everywhere. You can't go find students nowhere in this city or across America that's going to sit like that, all quiet, dignified, refined, and happy. Praise God. They would be all over the auditorium, throwing popcorn, making noise. You know, some of them are your kids. You know how it is. I can't do nothing with that child, honey. But we don't have that problem. We don't have any syphilis in our school, no gonorrhea, no AIDS, no social diseases. None of our children use profanity. They don't curse nobody out. You can't stay in Yahweh University and do that. That's not true in the public schools. Isn't it a miracle what's taking place? It's a perfect learning environment. Our children can count to vegetarian. They can name all the chemical elements, spell them, define them, tell you what it means to put one chemical with another chemical and what that produces, what product you get from that reaction. That's because we teach them. And then I take it a step further. I have institutionalized the knowledge of Yahweh at Yahweh University so that every single graduate from Yahweh University will never, ever have to go knock on somebody else's door for a job. If we don't have the business ready to hire them, I'll build it, I'll create it. I guarantee every graduate a job. I take that as my personal responsibility. All who follow me, we take that as our responsibility. And I say to you, my people, it is your responsibility to educate your own children and provide jobs for your own children, just as other nations are providing jobs for their own children. You must rise up and take your place so you can have the respect and the honor and the dignity that is due you, that can only come when you rise up and build your own businesses, employ yourself as others. So Yahweh University is producing now rulers and future rulers. I have those here in Yahweh University who are now in college getting their degree in accounting. I have one right here. Would you stand, baby? There's one. She will be graduating soon from Miami-Dade. Yes. In accounting, she already has a job. First Rate Foods. She's one of our accountants. Bless you. I have one of our students up here who's studying right now at Yahweh University, gynecology and to be an obstetrician. Right here in our school, mastering all there is. I have one of my students who has just passed his state exam for general contracting, and he made straight A's in all 3 sections. Straight, he aced it. His lowest grade was 97. And I have those who are in Yahweh University now. I have 12 or 14 students between the ages of 7 and 10 who are studying dentistry. They know everything about your mouth. They name everything. There's no knowledge about your mouth that they don't know. They're just too little to pull the teeth. You have to admit that's a miracle in your midst. What are your children learning in the public schools? What are they learning? Our children use vocabulary that you just can't deal with. You need a dictionary, thesaurus, and everything else just to try to deal with them. Synonym finder. You need all of it to deal with my children. They will scare a doctorate degree, scare you up from teaching, from walking in the classroom. They are too incredible. That's a fact. Now let's talk about politics for a moment. I'm moving rather quickly. Still giving you keys on how to move from poverty to riches. I'm talking to 3 kind of people in here. One is the conscious mindset, the unconscious, and the dead. And I know that when I come to you, I speak to those three kind of people. Now, dead is a very interesting kind of person. Dead mindset, they're a group of people who, like when you see a dead body in the mortuary, and you see it in one room, and tomorrow you come back to the mortuary and see it in another room, what do you know happened? Somebody moved it. You see a dead man laying on a cooling board in the mortuary. He lays back on the cooling board and he never tells you, I'm tired of laying here. He never says, will somebody please turn me over? If it's hot in the room, the dead man, it doesn't sweat. He won't, you set a fire to him, he won't get a blister. He get cold, no chill bumps. You turn the light on the dead man, his eyes won't blink. Just lays there. Then there's the unconscious man. They'll hear my message tonight too. See, the dead mind is hearing my message tonight. Then the unconscious mindset is also hearing my message tonight. He's a little different from the dead man. He's very interesting too. The unconscious mindset that hears my message, he is one who says, when you touch him, he'll flinch. He get cold, he get chill bumps. In other words, he responds to stimuli. Right? Then you have the conscious mind. He's the mind that's totally different from the other two. The dead man, when this meeting is finished, someone will say, well, he didn't hear it, he didn't see it, he didn't know nothing about what I did. Like, what in the world went on there? That's a mentally dead man. The unconscious mindset in this meeting, at the end of the meeting, he might come in my presence and say, Yahweh ben Yahweh, I heard you. I heard that. That's very interesting, very good. I'm with you. I'm with you. Way back behind you. I'm behind you. Way back behind you. That's a fact. Then the conscious man, he hears what I'm saying, understands what I'm saying. It's very clear to him what I'm saying, and he's the one that's willing to make a difference, ready to make a difference in his life and the lives of our people in general, and is ready to join hands, get up, and get something done. And I'm conscious that I'm dealing with those three types of mindsets. Just want you to know that. So I won't be disappointed about which one you are. Politics. Listen well. Most powerful keys you want to hear on earth in moving from poverty to riches. I'm going to call your attention to it. You and your family should be both Democrat and Republican. Should be a Democrat and a Republican. Your husband should be Democrat, the wife should be Republican. Or husband should be Republican and the wife Democrat. It's 60 million so-called black people in America. What if 30 million of us voted Democratic? 30 million of us were in the Republican Party. What would happen? We'd always win. My Jewish family, they're very smart. There's only 5 million of them in America. They always win. Because the Jews support 52% of all the income of the Democratic Party and something like 60 to 64% of the Republican Party. How can they lose? Why do you lose? You always Democrats. After the Civil War, you were Republicans and you ruled everything till they kicked you out because you didn't have it together. Today, you're always a Democrat, so that when it's time to get elected, all the white Democrats vote Republican. Why? Because you vote Democrat. And they don't want you to have any of the pie. I have 200 registrars, voter registration registrars. Half of them are Republicans, half of them are Democrats. Half of my followers are Democrats, half of my followers are Republicans. We win. See, I don't believe in either party. I just believe in winning. It's time to win. So don't get me hung up on that part. Now the next thing is, I want you to listen real well. Remember the government's listening to me, and remember the FBI's in here listening tonight. But I want to tell you one of the big secrets. A I'll say it a little soft, make them listen real hard. How many of you would like to rule America without having to pick up a gun and do no violence, just real peaceful? You'd like to rule America? You would. How many of you would like to rule the world? You would. How many of you would like me to tell you the secret of how you can rule America without any problem? Okay. Now sit on the edge of the seat. Open your ears. Here you go. There's 60 million black people in America. All you need to do is have 10 babies each. That's it. $600 million babies. It's only 200 million people in America. Boy, I got to get out of here. Time is running out. Isn't that terrible? I have to really get out of here tonight. Time is flying. Hard for me to see what time it is, but it's still flying. Is it all right if I take another 10 minutes? You want me to continue for a minute? See, when you teach 600 million babies to vote, baby, vote, huh? You got it. Yeah. See, it's so easy. It's fun having babies. You're the only one on the earth that have quit having babies. Yeah, all the birth control clinics are in your neighborhood. The health clinics are in your black schools. And you're the only one helping kill 2 million of your black babies every year. Call it abortion. White people out in the street teaching their women to stop doing abortion and have the babies. So when I see a little black baby, I'd stop and tell the mother, may I touch your child? This is the luckiest little nigga on earth right here. Kids, you just made it through birth control, you made it through the rubber and the condom and foam and tubal ligations, hysterectomy. I mean, kids, you are lucky. I have to touch a kid like that. You go out into the suburbs and white women got 2 in the stroller, 1 on the hip, 1 walking and pregnant. So, you can just take over the country real easy, no problem. 60 million of you have 10 babies each, and then you tell them to vote. Then another thing you do, you say, all right, now, I want you to move in this neighborhood right over here. And when your kid moves in that neighborhood, you tell all your kids, you just move in this neighborhood. You go pick your neighborhood and put your kid in it. What happens to the neighborhood? Everybody else does what? They move. With 600 million kids moving into all the neighborhoods, all these other people be swimming, going across the ocean, trying to get back somewhere else. Say, what? I know you appreciate hearing. You understand my message. If it wasn't for God having your babies have some babies, there wouldn't be none of you left in 20 years. Because the rest of you have started having 1.2 children. That point, I don't know what that is, but you be having it. Isn't that an easy way? How many of you understand that America is for sale? Yeah, America is for sale. Always been for sale. You just didn't know. You just didn't have any money in your mind. But you have plenty of money. You have riches if you put it together. Start loving each other, start trusting one another, and you'll have all the money that you need. But you've bought the world's biggest trick, individualism in love with materialism. So you want all the debt you can get now and all the pain that goes with trying to pay it back, instead of pooling your money and your resources to create your own industries. Well, I'm here to show you how to do it, help you to do it. I'm here to buy up all of Miami, buy all of Dade County. I'm here to buy the country if necessary. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to just buy it. Praise God. Now, some of you didn't clap. See, it's like, you jealous of me because I'm going to buy it? You already got all that money, you're going to buy everything. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's you and me buy it together. Praise God. If you don't clap now, that means what? You don't want to save anything. Well, I'm erasing all of your excuses tonight. And I know you're going to pass the word, and I know what I'm saying is being recorded so that it can be passed on. Also, I want to let you know that I'm the best thing that ever happened to America. Ever. Praise God. And for all of you that have passed out the lie that I'm down on white people, you just a lie. I'm up on you. I'm not down on white people. I'm up on you. I have no interest in trying to put white people out. I'm just interested in putting you in. I have no desire for white people to be poor. I'm only here to help you to be rich. And I can assure you that I am here to save all good people on the earth, regardless of their race, their creed, their color, or whatever there is that's supposed to make a difference. Let me tell you something about me right quick on that score. When you understand that I believe in the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, and I believe in practicing what it teaches from Genesis to Revelation, the more you know about the Bible, then the more you'll know about me. And what that includes is this reality. All men on this earth today are the descendants of three men this side of the flood. Noah and his three sons, and his sons' three wives, and Noah's wife. Only 8 people made it. Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives. All the other people were drowned on the other side of the flood. So that means that all nations on this earth come from Ham, or Shem, or Jephthah. All of them being the sons of Noah. All of the Gentile nations on the earth come from Jephthah. Right now. And all the people who you call Africans are from the son Ham. I am a descendant of Shem, the Shemites. Those are the 3 people. And that's who you, the so-called black men of America, are. You are the Shemites. You are the Hebrew Israelites, the children of the Bible. Every promise in that Bible belongs to you. And it's a sin to go to church and don't know that. So what that means is that all of us are family. Now something horrible has taken place to have family members killing each other in the home, in the community, in the city, state, the country, and the world. And it's a very wicked mindset that has taken hold to people that came down through Lucifer. And through those descendants, we have wicked people sitting in high places ruling in this world. And every wicked man on the earth must be brought down and chased out of this world. And it's going to happen because it's written that it's going to happen. And wicked people are not just white people, and you know that. If you think it's just some white people that's wicked, you're insane. Not with all these black folk killing each other and hurting one another. It's some black devils worse than anything you've ever seen. If all white people left the earth this second, all hell would break out in America. I'd be the first one catching the flight out. I wouldn't stay here with a bunch of niggas. I'll tell you the fact. Can you imagine all the niggas of America with guns? You talk about death and destruction. Ethics. They don't care nothing about God anymore. They don't care about religion. No, nothing. Most dangerous people, the only thing keeping niggas in check is white folks. Y'all just hold on, white people, please hold on to the niggas just a little while longer until I can get them in check. Then let me have them. I'll fix it up for you. Don't give up yet. I know it's hard. The white man's burden is a terrible thing to have to carry. I'm glad I'm not white. I wouldn't want to carry you niggas for nothing in the world. The only thing that can help you is you change your mindset. How many admit black folk have a terrible mindset? It's horrible, it's pitiful, it's sad. It's the most divisive and destructive thing. Black folk just tear up everything. They tear down a brick house. You can't hardly keep niggas in jail. I mean, they are destructive. They tear things down without a reason and don't build nothing back in its place. They destroy everything they get their hands on. The house, the neighborhood, the husband, the wife, they tear each other up. You know I'm right, it's hard, but I have to tell the truth. So white people, just hold on a little while. I'll ease your burden. I'm working day and night, and some of us are really serious about this. And y'all hold on. I know it's rough. Boy, for God to choose you to beat up on us for 435 years is a terrible job. Because he didn't let you kill us. He said, you can't kill us. You can kill some of us, but you can't kill all of us because we are Job. And he puts that on you, and you know it, and I know it, and I want you to know I know it. So I'm teaching all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, Yahweh, and of his Son, Yahweh ben Yahweh, and of his holy word, Yahweh, the holy word of Yahweh, which was God from the beginning. I bless all good people in the name of Yahweh, the Creator. I'm born as a gift to all good people of the planet Earth, regardless of your race, your nationality, creed, or religion. I've established the government of Yahweh, and I have established the nation of Yahweh. My words are designed to sift the nations and cause the glorious voice of Yahweh to be heard among all the people of the earth. And I'm doing a good job of that. You can look at world events and see that the time of wicked rule is fulfilled. And the kingdom of Yahweh is near. So repent and compensate for breaking the laws of Yahweh and believe the good news that I bring. America, in addition to the poverty of my people, you have over 15 million unemployed and homeless people living in poverty in this great land of opportunity, as taxes are killing you as businessmen. Yahweh has raised me up to move the world from poverty to riches, the whole world. I'm proving I have the keys to do that by moving the so-called black man. Those of you who are called black people, who join hands with me, I'm making you rich. I do not take a salary. I have never taken a salary. I do not carry money. And what you see me on with, I don't wear it. It belongs to my followers. They keep it. Oh yeah, they keep it. They just want me to look like this. I don't mind. It's still theirs. I don't take a salary, but I've established $100 million in this country for my followers. It's all in their names. They own all the corporations. If my body were to disappear tonight, I leave my followers rich with the knowledge of how to keep it forever and add to it.
Good evening, everyone. And to the Honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh, let me say this one thing. That I hope the media is here, the Miami Herald, whoever, and I hope you write about this educational institution that this organization has, and you tell Commission of Education of Florida write to her, tell her, the Commission of Education of Florida to tell her superintendents across the state that all kids can learn if they're taught. Write about it, talk about it. And to the Honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh, my son who's taken my job away from me, is going to read this plaque to you.
Presented to Yahweh ben Yahweh, an appreciation for his leadership. State Representative Jefferson Reeves Sr., Miami, Florida, October 7, 1990. To his eminence.
Bless you. Bless you. I love you. I love you.
I love you. I love you.
Thank you so much. I love you. I want you all to know I love you. I love Miami. I'm determined to help make this the greatest city on earth. After all, you remember these words. Egypt has her pyramids. India has the Taj Mahal. Orlando has the Big Rat, Disney World. But you have the Son of God, the world's greatest attraction. Let's take advantage of it. It's time to make a change, and we are the people who can do it.
Yo, what's up? I'm gonna keep it with the line, y'all know. Here we go.